a little bit and actually hasn't come this way. I mean, obviously it's difficult when you haven't seen where she's been heading. And I kind of don't really know where she is. So the den for here, Kirst, just give me 2 seconds, is right across from where we are now. I'm just going to drop down here. So
you know why we got trucks there? It's because we popped our nose there to look at the nyalas.
Ah, okay.
Down there.
So Seb is telling me that they popped their noses down to look at the nyalas that were down there. Now, I don't think that she's here, but let's just have a little look. Now, the cave that we're looking for is right in front of me now. So I'm just going to go in a little bit slowly, just in case there's any sign of her. I don't see her, but let's just double check. What is there? There's spots there. Just have a look there. Looks like spots there. Seb, straight in front of us.
Yeah.
There looks like there's spots in there. No, it's not. Go up a little bit for me. There's, look, there's a little cub. There's a little cub there. Go up, Seb, up. There. See the tiny little cub?
Okay.
There's a cub. We found the den. That is ridiculous. There, at the top of the screen, Seb. Look on my monitor.
Okay. Wow, it's very dark.
Yeah.
I can't make it brighter than that.
It's fine, Seb. Just the focus is maybe. There is a tiny little cub there with Thandi. So there you can see the spots. Now the cub is there. Seb's just trying to get the focus right because there's so many branches.
Yeah, okay, we got it now.
Awesome. Now look, there's a little cub moving around there. Isn't that spectacular? Now I feel terrible because James should have been the one to find her. Oh, that is so cool. How awesome is that? Look at how small it is. I wonder how old this is. That's crazy. Now, only one that I can see so far, but let's just give it a bit of a time. I'm not going to move too much. I don't want her to get upset or anything like that. But there is a little cub. Isn't that just the most special thing ever? So cool. This den site and Thandi just seems to be the one that we need to kind of check. You can just see her watching us. But there is a tiny new generation of the Karula lineage. Isn't that special? Wow. Like I say, I can only see one for now. There might be more than one. It's just such a tight spot. Now, everybody, I believe, is super happy that and she's lying down. That's the perfect thing. There it comes. There's its little tail. Look, do you see its little tail wiggling there? That's tiny. It's still absolutely tiny, this little thing. Now, I mean, I don't know what she looked like this morning with James, but maybe she's got a little... Maybe she's given birth during the day. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if she was still pregnant, but there is a spotty little bum, and you were asking, can you see the spots? And there it is. Now, come on, turn your little head around. We want to see your head. Come on. How crazy is this? And the fact that she's laid down means that... There it is, look. There it is. Oh, it's just fallen over. It's so tiny. Its feet are still white. Did you see that? Its paws are still white. I think this thing has been born today.
Yes.
Which is absolutely insane. That is absolutely crazy. Can you believe that we've managed to find this tiny little cub? How special is that? Wow. And it's almost to the day that Tlalamba was born. I mean, we're about 2 weeks too early for Tlalamba's birthday, but it's amazing to see. Well, that confirms it, I'm afraid, or if there was any speculation as to whether or not she was pregnant, right there tells you that she is, and definitely just the little one. Wow. Seb? Smallest leopard cub you've ever seen?
Yeah, definitely.
Most definitely. Definitely just seems like the one.
Yeah.
Look at that little face. Tiny little ears. That is amazing.
Welcome to the world, little one.
Wow. It doesn't get much better than that. Now, it's been a difficult few months for Thandi in some respects. She's been moving around and been kind of, unfortunately, having a fairly tough time of it with movement between the lines and all the other things that have been going on. So for her to have a tiny, brand new little cub that we have the pleasure of seeing, that is, like I say, probably not even 12 hours old, is absolutely unbelievable. How crazy is that? Now, of course, we're not going to get to see this cub now for quite a while, unfortunately. This area gets blocked off now, and we're actually not going to stay here for too much longer at all, just because of how sensitive this sighting is. But it goes to show you, we talk about this often with cats, is that how they will reuse dens. It's just previous experience knowing that she's used this den before, that this is the place to check. And there you go. It just goes to show that dens can be utilized again and again. Wow. I can only see one for now, but it's not to say there isn't more. She's lying on her side, and she could potentially be suckling another cub that might be in there. And so for now, yes, it's just the one that we can see, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there is only one. We could find in a few, days' time or weeks, when she gets a little bit older, or the cubs get a bit older, that they'll be able to move around. And a lot of you are saying this is magical. Well, it doesn't get any better than this, I'm afraid. I've spent a lot of time in my life in the wilderness, and to see a leopard cub that is within a few hours old is pretty phenomenal. Right, now this is a very special thing, and we don't want to stay here for too long, so we're going to quickly just show the rest of the viewers on all of our different platforms. And so I'm going to hold off speaking, and then we're going to leave her after that. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a very difficult sight in terms of the fact that you can't see much, but an incredibly special one. My name is Tristan. On camera I've got Sebastian, and we're coming to you live from South Africa, from what can be described as probably one of the highlights of my career as a guide, because inside there you might have seen a little bit of movement. There's some spots of a leopard, and this is a leopard female who has just given birth in the last few hours, we think, because she was seen this morning with quite a full tummy, and she's given birth to a brand new cub, and we've just got to see the cub for the very first time, which is absolutely amazing. Now, you can just make out the spots there, and what I want you to look for is look for the movement of the tail. Do you see the tiny little tail moving? I think there might actually be two cubs in there. I think there's two cubs, because I can see a tail moving, and I think there's a second tail that's also moving there. I don't know how many cubs there are. There, you see that? It looks like two different tails that are moving around in there. Now, hopefully, there are two little ones. We know definitely for sure there is one that's moving around. It is absolutely tiny, 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 tiny. It's got small little white feet. Its pads on its foot are still white from the fact that it was only probably born today. And it is by far the youngest leopard cub that I have ever seen. You can see Mom is just relaxing. It's a hot afternoon, and if she did give birth today, she's going to be thoroughly exhausted right now. And so that little cub is exploring and just learning about the world. You can just see a little bit of movement every now and then. Unfortunately, we can't get any closer to her. We don't want to put any pressure on her, make her feel uncomfortable. Ultimately, she's in a very, very tricky spot. She's just had cubs. The cubs are pretty much blind, and it's not able to move too much, and so she will be very, very protective of that cub, and it's a stressful time for her when these cubs are still so little. So we're trying not to stress her, and that's why we're not going to move too far at all. And it's a perfect den site for a leopard. She can get in there with the cubs. It's nice and sort of tangled with roots, which means it's very difficult for things like lions and hyenas that are around that won't be able to get to that den very easily. Now, Geraldine Kent says, well done, Thandi girl. Geraldine used to work for us, so it's always nice to hear from Geraldine. She's just got back from Thailand, and what a special, special way to spend our day. That is amazing. So, Jerry, I know Jerry will be shrieking and squirming because she loves cute little baby animals, so that's absolutely amazing. Now, a lot of you are saying congratulations to Thandi and saying that this is an epic way to have a day. And well, the thing is that unfortunately we're going to not see this cub for the next few weeks because it's still far too small to be viewed, and we don't want to create pressure around this den where she potentially has to move them. So this is going to be a little taster of maybe what's to come in the future, but how special and crazy is that? All right, well, it was just a quick show, and so that you could all see it and be able to have a look at a leopard cub a few hours old. So from Sebastian and I, it's been an absolute pleasure. It is most definitely one of the best highlights of my guiding career, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing it, and we'll hopefully see you with this bundle of joy at a later stage. Right, well, that was just a quick one, just to announce to the world that little Thandi has got some new cubs, and it looks like a tiny little one. I'm not sure if there's two. Everyone's going to have to start playing the footage back and seeing if two tails were moving. I thought I saw two tails move. I'm not really sure. But we're going to give Thandi her space now. We're not going to stay here because obviously this thing is too small and we don't want to put any pressure. And so while we do that, let's send you back across to James, who I feel desperately sorry for, given he followed her to the spot this morning.